Last week was a great relief for the global market as the US resolved its budget impasse and debt ceiling challenge. That also led to the opening of the US government that had been shut down for 2 weeks. Today in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the US Consul General will be visiting. Mr Jeffrey Hawkins' visit should strengthen ties between United States of America and Nigeria in the areas of economy and trade relations.
I'm particularly honored to be here for a number of reasons. First of all, because your president has just made a visit to the New York Stock Exchange, one of the premier exchanges in my country. In my own modest way, it's a pleasure for me to return the favor and come and visit you all here. And I know Oscar was on that trip, ably representing you all with the president in our exchange. It's an honor for me to be here because Nigeria is an extremely important economy for the United States. We do over $40 billion of trade with Nigeria every year. We've got about $5 billion of investment in this country. I would assume some of it right here at the stock exchange. Nigeria is a high priority for the United States. A large growing economy, set to be one of the largest on the continent, set to be the largest on the continent. And Americans would ignore that economy and this stock exchange at their peril. The United States government has a number of ways that it interacts and exchanges with this economy. The United States government in particular, we have a trade investment framework agreement with Nigeria, an important dialogue about issues of investment and trade. And this institution certainly comes up as a highlight of those discussions. We are leading a number of initiatives that Nigeria is involved in, most notably our Power Africa initiative that the President has announced recently, something that's really important about building the infrastructure that helps generate the investment that you all are involved in. It's important to me to be here on a more fundamental basis and an honor for me to be here because the stock exchange is really a building block for a modern, vibrant, developed economy. No economy can do without capital, no economy can do without investment. And you all are engaged, as we speak, sitting here right now, in generating the investment and the capital that will make this great economy grow. And finally, it is an honor for me to be here today because I deeply share Oscar's vision of an exchange that is not only a motor and a generator of capital for an economy, but also serves to promote a really important function, the function of generating rule of law and transparency in economic development here. Oscar sees this exchange as a wonderful way to introduce those concepts into the larger economy, and all the rigor that you apply to your investments here will only benefit the rest of the economy, the kinds of controls and transparency that you all deal with on a day-to-day basis here. And so I think that's wonderful, and I'm very, very honored to be here and to close today's session. So thank you very much.
Obviously, we have a very strong and deep economic partnership with Nigeria. The United States is a $5 billion investor in this economy, and the Nigerian Stock Exchange, of course, is a big part in creating the environment for investors to come here. Not only is the stock exchange sort of one of the building blocks of a modern economy, but it's also a great way to introduce transparency and rule of law in the business system. And so we're very, very honored to be here today, and we're very appreciative of the work that the stock exchange does. You know, Nigeria has its own institutions and its own economic approach. And there are a wide variety of institutions like the Securities and Exchange Commission, like the CBN, that need to oversee the financial sector in this economy. I think over the last few years, you've seen a considerable improvement in the financial health of the Nigerian market. So I would say in many ways the Nigerian regulators are doing a good job on their own. We can all do better, of course, and we look forward to working with our Nigerian partners on those issues. We focus most on the interest of the American investors, American business people, and the American taxpayers. So there are a number of things that we do with Nigeria to help encourage good practices. For example, we have a trade and investment framework agreement with Nigeria. It's a bilateral discussion that allows us to deal with some of these issues. We have our binational commission that deals with wider bilateral issues, but also has economic elements. We do a lot of assistance to different elements of the Nigerian government that are interested in creating the sort of transparency and good business practice we're talking about, whether it's the EFCC on corruption and other issues like that.